I have two of these plants in this garden. I may use or may not. I haven't tried to put them in here, so I don't know if they're going to fit. But I have two of them. If they do fit, they're going to come to $7 because 3 and 3 is 6, and 48 and 48 makes another dollar. So that's $7. And everything else I already have, so there is zero cost for all the other accessories. Now this is our second side of the salvias. This container was fairly good size. I actually got two big salvia plants in here, but there was extra room on both sides. So this will be my next fairy garden, and it's right in between the tomatoes, as you can see. So it's going to be a little crowded in here, but that is still fine, is it not? Better to shove it all in and make a lot of variety of color. I propped my tomatoes up so they wouldn't be blocking my fairy garden, and I think it will work out better because now we'll have the tomatoes growing upright. Well, I moved my tomatoes over a little bit in the tomato cage, but we could see our fairy garden a little bit better. It probably is taking me 30 to 45 minutes to put this one together by the time I get it all finished. And most of that was time looking for stuff and building this up. Like I said, I have lots of moss, and I'm going to still put some more moss in here. And the only expense that's going to be new is it's those two little blue plants I showed you, and they were $3.50 a piece. And I used two of them. All the fairy accessories I already have, and some of them might be 6 to 7 years old, if you can believe it. And you're not going to believe how good a condition they look like to be that old. I'm even amazed. So let's put this together. This little swing tree is about a year old, and it has been outside, but it looks brand new. The little kitty here has been outside the whole time, and it's probably about 2 or 3 years old. This you're not going to believe. These have been outside the whole time, and they have kept their color and their paint so well. And I think, I don't really know for sure, probably bought it at Hobby Lobby, and probably this tree was also bought at Hobby Lobby. And if you were to go back and look on my videos, you would see these guys probably at least, I think, about 6 years. I don't think they were one of the first things I bought, but I have had these little gnome children a very, very long time. So I'm thinking at least 6 years, maybe longer, I don't know. But they definitely are not new, and their little faces are still looking so cute, and I just love them, how they look. Look at those little faces. And they're doing a little teeter-totter. Isn't it cute? And I use them every year in 1 or 2 fairy gardens because they always look so cute. It's a brother and sister having fun. Well, we finally got it all together. What do you think? This was probably about a 45-minute project, only because it took so much time putting everything together. Had to look around for things that would sort of go together size-wise also. None of these accessories are new. All of them I've had for quite some time. So there is zero cost except for the 2 plants at $7. Now let's go see what Grandma put in this one. And you can see my beautiful salvias look beautiful in this miniature garden, don't they? Okay, let's start back here with the salvias. This little tree, I think I paid, $1.50 or $2 at 99-cent store. Their fairy houses are a little more expensive than Dollar Tree, but they are also bigger. So this one I thought was a better size for these little gnomes because my other little fairy gardens from Dollar Tree are too little. This one's bigger, and I think it goes better together. The little swing, now keep in mind, none of these things are new. The little gnome house was probably bought a year or 2 ago. The swing was last year, and it looks brand new because it's kept in a container. but it's at least a year old. It might be 2, and that's probably from Hobby Lobby, I think, because I buy a lot of fairy stuff from Hobby Lobby because they have some really nice things, and they're pretty good on their prices. Now, I used to buy a lot of stuff at Joann's when they would have their 50% sale because their stuff was way overpriced if you didn't. But they no longer hardly ever carry anything, so I hardly even go to Joann's. At one time, I would go there once a month to buy fairy supplies. Now I don't go at all, or rarely, because they usually don't have anything. I think the little boy and girl was bought at Hobby Lobby also, but it's pretty old, and I don't know if you can still get them or not. I've probably had them about 6 years. I've had them a long time. It might even be 7 years, because they're on some really old videos I have. And the little kitty was probably bought at Hobby Lobby, but I could be wrong about the kitty. It might have came from Michael's. But the kitty is probably a year or 2 old. It's not new either. And believe it or not, the kitty and the gnomes have been out in the garden, and they have held up wonderfully. And the house has been out in the garden too, so it's held up pretty good so far, but it's not too old. It's only a year or 2 old. And then I found this little piece of wood in with all my wood for my wood chips. So I said, that looks like a great log, and I washed it off and brought it and put it in the garden. So what do you think for a $7 fairy garden? And the whole $7 really was just on the 2 plants, because everything else, all the fairy accessories I had, I did not buy one thing. And this is our second fairy garden for today. So I did 2 in one video because Grandma hasn't done any, and I probably will put a couple fairy gardens together so we can get our 30 for the month, since I have really been getting behind. I will try to do 2 more tomorrow if I have time. I have a birthday party to go to tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to have time, but we'll see. One of my great-grandsons is turning 3. Oh my gosh. It's been so wonderful having so many wonderful little grandkids to spend time with. Well, I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you like Fairy Garden 1 or Fairy Garden 2. This is going to sound terrible. I think Fairy Garden 2 is my favorite. But you can do and choose any one you want. But of course, these little gnomes are always my favorite, and I use them every year, at least in 2 or 3 different fairy gardens, because they're my favorites. I really wish I had bought a pair of them, because there will be a day where they're going to get all washed out, because these gnomes actually stay in the garden. But they're the cutest things, are they not? And look at that little kitty. Isn't he cute, looking at the gnomes and winking at us? Oh, so cute. And of course, the little tree with the swing. I have about 3 or 4 of those too, because I like that look. But like I said, they're different sizes. I thought this one went perfect size-wise with that house.